I want you to know that this mic is too high. Or I'm too short. What a very nice group gathered here tonight to celebrate this wonderful, inspiring work of Arbor Circle. I'm truly grateful and humbled to be a little cog in the wheel of this event tonight, and for all the reasons that we are coming together. This organization deals with so many tough issues on a daily basis, morning, noon, and night. I am proud to do whatever I can to help raise the awareness for all of us, as well as for our community, that Arbor Circle, with their programs serving our at-risk youth, deserves our support. I'm pretty sure that everyone in this room has had a few pivotal moments in our lives, and if we're lucky, we've had support networks to help us navigate. That's not always the case with our at-risk young people. They are vulnerable, and they need many helping hands in their journey. They don't always get it, and that's where Arbor Circle comes in. I'd like to tell you a story now, as well as share a few things about my life's journey. Back in the mid-'80s, I met a young, eager, energetic social worker named Jack Greenfield. Our paths crossed due to my mom, and I never could have dreamed that she would actually lead us to an Arbor Circle connection one day. You see, I've never spoken publicly about a very personal matter until tonight, and that is my mother, Doris Finney, suffered with mental illness her whole life. Severe depression, several attempts at suicide, and in and out of mental hospitals my whole childhood. Back in the 50s and 60s, electroshock therapy was used routinely for severe mental illness, and Mom had many such treatments. My dad did his best to shield me and my sister from the stigma of mental illness, and we were mostly just told that Mom was sick and needed to go away to get better. I grew up in a little town with a strong sense of community, as well as faith. Several of my friends' moms were especially kind and caring and provided me with support, meals, rides, loving hugs when Mom was gone. Sometimes for months at a time, twice for over a year each time. As I think back on it, my support network was a strong father, two grandmas who each lived in nearby towns, aunts, my friends and their parents, my teachers, and I had a mom who loved me more than there were stars in the sky, unconditionally, and she told me so when she was home. And she wrote me letters when she wasn't home. It's just that I was so afraid much of the time because I never knew when she'd be leaving again. I was worried that I might accidentally be the cause of her getting sick. I wanted her to be home like all my other friends' moms were, not in a faraway hospital where I could never see her. Sometimes Mom would be home for a couple years at a time, and we were all so happy. Life seemed normal. Then her schizophrenia or manic depression would kick in, would trigger, and she would leave once again. By the time I was out of high school, Dad had taken her to doctors in 5 different states, 12 different psychiatric hospitals, an untold number of doctors. The magic cure never came. Fast forward to 1976, I was married, Jeremy was a year old, and my dad broke the news to us that he could no longer stay married to Mom. It was just too much. She was increasingly uncooperative, had become an alcoholic, was resistant to further help, so his 30 years trying to help her was coming to an end. They were divorced later that year. Somehow I understood and didn't begrudge my dad about this. It was such a complicated and emotional situation. Later that year, we moved to Grand Rapids to make this our home. Over the next number of years, Mom drifted from living in my hometown in Illinois to Florida to be with her mom and sister, and to Grand Rapids to be close to us. I did my best to find good care for her here and to learn about the mental health system in our area. It wasn't easy, and I found it very difficult to navigate. It was in 1986 or so that she was living in an adult foster care home in the Grand Rapids area and was assigned a new young caseworker. His name was Jack Greenfield, and Mom adored him. He was kind, considerate, patient, and a good listener. Mom loved to talk. She really looked forward to his visits and the days he would come to be with her. As I think back, these were some of the best years Mom ever had later in her life. A new psychiatrist from Ken Oaks had her on a combination of medicines that kept her better balanced and not so prone to the terrible mood swings that had plagued her in years gone by. She loved where she was living and would also come over to our house on a regular basis to spend time with her two grandsons. Sadly, all the years of chain smoking, drug treatments, and sedentary lifestyle contributed to Mom developing congestive heart failure, and she died in 1990, 25 years ago, at the age of 61. I will always be so grateful to Jack for his many contributions in making Mom's final years more peaceful and content for her. She really cared about him and very much wanted him to be proud of her. He helped her tame her demons, if you will, and realize that she had value and was worthwhile. He was clearly talented, and I could tell even then he had a very bright future. He had a gift. So as I think about my life and the family struggles we had, I really don't know where I came up with the strength of character and the resilience that has seen me through many difficult life events. I am very grateful for God's blessings, even though my childhood was somewhat unconventional. I will be forever thankful that I always managed to have enough support to protect and nurture me. These kids at Arbor Circle don't often have that. So they need and deserve our support to help them get through, to help them get strong, and to look forward to better times ahead. They are all dealing with a whole host of issues, most brought on by others, and they often have nowhere or no one to turn to. That's where Arbor Circle comes in, and that's where we come in. I'm so glad to have family and dear friends here with me tonight. It's a day that will always be tough for me. My son Paul died 10 years ago today. I feel him here with me tonight, and my mom too. I hope they are proud of me, but I have work left to do. Besides the bank, just to mention a few things, I want to support efforts to bring mental illness out of the hush-hush darkness and treat it like any other disease. I want to support efforts to increase awareness of the importance of organ donation so that we can reduce the number of people who die every day in this country waiting for a transplant. Paul was an organ donor and he saved lives. And I intend to support the mission of Arbor Circle, especially with their essential work in helping youth. This truly is a community issue, and we need to step up to it as a community. These kids are our future. Every one of them is worthwhile, has value, and great potential. This is a tremendous organization with great leadership, so please, please be generous with your support. Most of you know me as a person with a very positive outlook on life, and as been shared, you also know that I'm a diehard Cubs fan. When we finally win it all, yes, I will be there. And you also realize that even if we don't, I will still be there. Well, I'm here to tell you that these kids of Arbor Circle are the true winners. They deserve for us to be there for them. Please realize how much your support for Arbor Circle will make a difference in their lives. They deserve our support. They will make us all proud. I absolutely just know it. So, thank you very much for being here tonight.
And I want to introduce Tatiana, who has our gift that we would like to present you tonight. And we started a couple of years ago having the youth at the bridge create our gift to give to our honorees. And I'm thrilled to show you this absolutely beautiful piece of artwork that the youth at the bridge created, and Tatiana was part of that, creating this. And if you look at it, each square was made by a different youth that stays at the bridge. And there's really a story behind each of those squares. And just to point out a couple, you can't hear me. It was like Vanna White. The circle was made by a 10-year-old boy who was staying at the bridge. And he knew that Arbor Circle was green and it was a circle, and he definitely wanted that represented on the platter. So it is with great appreciation that we give this to you for all that you've done for our community, and hope that you enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.